red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. See my voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. Soph show is back with another show. You know what, I apologise last week, obviously I was slow with streams because I had tonsillitis and whatnot, and this week technical difficulties have made me prolong my stream, so I'm glad to be back live with you guys just after obviously what has happened in the pre-season friendly against Aston Villa, drawing 2-2, disappointing second half, and I'm sure we're going to delve into that obviously in this show as well. But let me focus on the positives. I thought first half we looked sharp, we looked at it. I think obviously on a bad pitch you have to take into account with that, but I thought we'd still tried the right things. Link up was good. Scored, to be fair, one really good goal. The second one obviously was an own goal, but the football building up to it, the ball from Fred, I thought was quality as well. Second half just didn't really come out the blocks. Aston Villa looked obviously sharper in that second half as well. Obviously then we made wholesale changes which didn't help. And conceding the late goal is just a bit gutting. And I know it's pre-season and whatnot, but obviously we don't want to be conceding late goals. We are still unbeaten in pre-season. But second half, it was woeful, really, wasn't it, in the grand scheme of things. Neil said, I missed the first half. I went to mum's, but second half I watched it on my phone. First half was much better, trust me. The first half was much better. And Lucky Singh said, really irritated. Garner overrated St. Iron Blue. It didn't do a lot, did it? That's the first look that Ten Hag really has had of him, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm not going to judge him too harshly just yet. But we know what happens with a lot of our young players. We do overhype them. We do overrate them. And that's why I'm trying to stay grounded really with our new upcoming talents that we have now, the likes of Garnacho and whatnot. Good day to Helga and Wheels. I hope you're doing well. Lucky Singh said we need to score more goals. We've been pretty free scoring, to be fair, so far in pre-season, you would say. And I thought we created quite a lot of chances. We nearly had another own goal as well in that second half. But you know what? It's like I say, it's pre-season. I'm not going to judge it too harshly. We have to learn our lessons and cut out these mistakes. We can't come out the second half like that. If we do that in the Premier League, we know we're going to get punished like we were today. Leon Bailey came on and I thought he had a massive impact on the game. He was kind of running us ragged as well on that right-hand side. But all in all, it is what it is. You know, we move on to the next one now. Obviously, we're heading closer to home. We've done our tour in Australia and whatnot, and overall it's been successful. And like I say, in flashes, I like what I've seen. We know it's not going to be a quick fix with Ten Hag coming in. We know there's still positions that we need to strengthen. And like I say, the wholesale changes in the second half as well didn't help. There's a big difference in both performances. But it's always like that in the pre-season. It's always a bit bitty, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. Guys, if you want to come in and have your say, obviously I am going to be live for around half an hour to 45 minutes. So I am inviting people on if they want to come and have a say. The link is in the description for all people who want to join in. So yeah, please see that link and I'll obviously welcome you into the show as well. You can come and have a talk with me about it. Dogman, I'm still smiling. It's pre-season. I'm still smiling. I've broken up for the summer holidays. I'm in a good mood. Don't you worry. But yeah, it's frustrating that second half. I agree with what Iron Blue said. The midfield got overrun. Fred in that first half, I thought he kind of ran the game. I thought he was superb. But in the second half, like I said, they come out sharper. Whether it's tiredness from our lads, which is a bit concerning, because obviously it's not that long now until the season starts. But they have been training hard. They have been grafting. So maybe it is a bit of fatigue that's settling in. The pitch didn't help because, you know, you get some pitches like that, your legs do feel heavy. And then obviously, like I said, Villa came out sharper that second half. Leon Bailey had a big impact on it. And all our changes, the momentum was lost in that second half for sure. But I'm not getting too upset about it, like I say. I'm not getting too gutted about it. It is what it is. It's pre-season. And yeah, we have to just be more positive, like head into the next game, learn from our mistakes. And yeah, I'm not going to get too downbeat about it. Firstly, we've got Aikavin jumping on. Aikavin, how are you doing?
I'm a bit gutted with the result, to be honest. I think we could have done better in that second half. But overall, I think it's been a great tour. Obviously, with United coming over to Thailand, I had a great time when they were out here. And Australia seemed like it was... I think it was a good time for United in Australia, but I think the Aston Villa game really showed that United have to fix a lot of things going into next season. There's still a lot of problems going into next season. We can gas up the attack that Sancho, Rashford, Martial, everything that was good. But at the same time, we still have a lot of issues to fix at the back. And I think defensively, we have to learn how to defend from set pieces, because I think that's the main issue. And De Gea, I don't understand why he can't come out and grab that ball. I think he's a goalkeeper. He shouldn't just stay on this line. He should be in his box. He should be playing the ball within his box. He has his whole box with him. He can either come out and grab the ball, or he can just play a better pass. Which I think his distribution has been horrible. If you ask me, I think his distribution has not been the same. He's downgraded levels with his distribution.
I think in flashes, I think he's been great. And then, I mean, we saw that video of Ten Hag screaming De Gea, "What the F are you doing?" and whatnot. I've seen that clip.
I think that was Charlie, not De Gea. David.
Yeah.
I think it was Charlie.
Yeah. But I just think that in general, a lot of people doubted De Gea going into the season with Ten Hag, didn't they? They thought, you know what, is he going to cope with that style of play and whatnot? I'm not going to write him off after this game, but I've always felt with De Gea that has been a bit of a weakness, his box dominance, if you like it, especially from set pieces. It doesn't help. Obviously, the defenders in there. We do need to improve that for sure. Obviously, we have got Martinez coming in. A lot of people criticising his height and whatnot. Do you think that he'll add a bit more security in terms of the defending from set pieces? Because I know a lot of people are writing him off, but obviously Koundé's been linked with Chelsea, possibly Barcelona now. But he's not exactly the tallest. Does height matter to you, do you think, in that aspect?
I think set pieces is the biggest challenge as a defender, because you have to defend many players in the box. Like, you have to handle big players coming forward. You have to handle tall attackers as well. So say you're what example can I get? Like say you're like, this is not me taking up the Lisandro Martinez. This is not me saying Lisandro Martinez is bad or anything. But for example, if you have a 5'9" defender against like a 6'5" attacker, that's gonna be a problem. But that's not me saying Lisandro Martinez cannot defend. But what I'm trying to say is, defending from set pieces is very, very key going into next season, because there's going to be a lot of quality going forward for every team next season as well. United especially, we have to improve scoring set pieces, because our set piece statistics were horrible last season. Defending it took 100 corners to score a goal for United last season. Yeah, and I think that's embarrassing for a club like Man United. We have a lot of big players. We should be scoring from corners. I think Maguire was unlucky in the first half, and then he could have scored. But at the same time, we need to be more consistent. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I think that Maguire chance, as he was mentioning, I think that was good defending, but he needs to do that more often.
Yeah, but he nearly scored. He nearly scored. How many times have we seen Maguire get into those positions and it's hit his head and gone in also nowhere near the target? Like,
the pass gets a goal. Maguire, Melbourne victory game. I'll give you. I'll take that example. A Melbourne victory game. The goal that we conceded, the first goal, Maguire was the one that was coming back, and that pass came across goal. So Maguire needs to learn how to slide in more when tracking back. Like defenders need to slide in for the ball, because we can't just let the ball go across and then the score happens. Like we easily concede those type of goals because defenders don't slide in, and that's my issue with United's defense. But I need to talk about Rafael Varane a little bit. Rafael Varane has looked very erratic. I think he's looked very erratic. I think his passing, his heading has been really inconsistent, and I think he's really injury prone as well. And I'm worried about Rafael Varane. If we can't get the best out of Rafael Varane, I look to move on after either this season or maybe next season if he can get his form. It depends, because he's now 28, 29. He's almost 29. He needs to improve his game. Otherwise we have to look to sell him. Now, I think Lisandro Martinez coming in, he can play 3 positions. That's very versatile. I like that. But we haven't seen him yet. I hope we see him in Oslo, and I hope we see him at Old Trafford. But at the same time, we need more. I still think Varane at the back. No.
I think with Varane, consistency is a big thing. Being able to play a run of games and not keep picking up these little niggling injuries that he kept getting last season. Also having a consistent partner next to him who's performing. And let's think of it. When Varane played last year, he had Maguire next to him, who was also very shaky, wasn't he? So I think he needs that consistent partner, whether it's Maguire, whether it's Martinez, whoever it may be, someone who's going to be got kind of that rock the side of him, who's going to be there week in, week out. I think last season there was too many times where there was niggling injuries, and like I say, form being so bad as well. Like, this is a fairer season to judge him on, because it's a clean slate for everybody, not just Varane, everybody. And I think it's really interesting to see if he can stay fit, if he does get into the team ahead of the likes of Martinez and Maguire, because I'm really keen to see what the partnership will be next season.
I think everybody should get some more minutes. I think he's looking pretty good in preseason. I think he's winning interceptions as well. I think he's going in for tackle blocks as well. I think he's trying his absolute hardest to throw himself at the ball, which I like that as a Man United defender. As a Man United player, you throw everything at your game, and that's what I like about him. He does everything he can, but the only issue is he's injury prone, and that's my worry. We have a lot of quality players, but they can get injured really easily. That's my issue. If we can have some depth in each position, I think that will be really key going into next season, because we already have I think we have some of our players. Like, say, I think Malacia has looked alright in preseason. I think he's done alright. I think Luke Shaw has been okay. Bruno Fernandes has been not at this game for me. I think today he was the worst player out of everyone today.
I've seen two sides to Bruno. I think that he's a bit erratic with his passing sometimes, and obviously you hope that Ten Hag kind of irons that out. Like, that is a frustrating.
He lost the ball that led to Aston Villa's first goal as well. It was him that lost the ball.
Yeah, but how many times did especially in the first half when we were playing well, we were dominant, how many times did he nip in and make an interception and then counter attack? Like, he springs that counter attack from his pressing and from the fact that he can, you know what I mean, his work rate, and that he can never put. But on the ball, I agree, as a playmaker, he obviously needs to be a lot more measured with his passes.
He needs to be like more aware of where his passes are going to, because I've seen a lot of times Bruno Fernandes, right? He passes the ball across goal. Some of them are too hard. Some of them are a little bit unexpected, because you saw Sancho today. He could have tapped that in, but it was really unexpected from Bruno or something, or Rashford or whoever that was. But I think Bruno Fernandes, he needs to stop chipping those little. He needs to stop doing those little chip passes, because I think it's a little bit like it kind of ruins the perfection of the game a little bit in a way, because let's say Sancho made the run into the box. He could have had a tap in. Time and time again, we've seen he could have taken a shot, but he decided to pass it across goal. I saw that last game, and I think Bruno Fernandes is lacking confidence. I think he needs to work on his confidence. For me, I think Eriksen should start over Bruno Fernandes in the Premier League, because I think Eriksen's more of a better passer. He's a better creative player, if you ask me.
Yeah, I actually didn't think Bruno was that bad today. I don't know if it was just me. I don't get wrong. I agree he can improve, but I don't think he was
the worst player, but I just think he needs to improve passing wise. He needs to improve his creativity, his vision, because I've seen it today, and I think Bruno Fernandes just looks a little bit lacking confidence.
Maybe all will do, but
we can't blame the pitch today. For me, we shouldn't blame the pitch. I know it's drenched, but from Man United standards, you should be playing on every pitch. You're a professional football player. You're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. You should be ready to play on any pitch, any condition. There's no excuse today that the pitch has costed us. For me, we had a lot of chances in the first half. We could have taken them more.
Yeah.
And for me, I just think going forward, passing wise, going forward has been. I think we looked all right. I think the front three between Sancho, Rashford, and Martial has worked really well. I think Martial has been on fire in preseason for me. Just because he didn't score today, but he still had the link-up play between Sancho. I think Sancho has been brilliant. I think Rashford looks more sharp.
He does.
I think what I like about the forward is we have more pace going forward now. And Ronaldo, the situation with Ronaldo, I understand all that. But we never know how we can blend into this team coming back next season. If he stays, we'll have to try and fit him into this team. We have to use every player possible that's here, because Ten Hag's gonna wanna. Ten Hag's not gonna be like you're just because you sit on the bench doesn't mean you're not a part of the team. We're gonna use every player possible this season, and because we have a lot of games, especially the Europa League and an extra round in the round of 32, if we make the round of 32, that is, and hopefully we can use our depth wisely, because now we have left back. We have 3 players at left back. What are we gonna do with Luke Shaw? What are we gonna do with Alex Telles? Who are we gonna sell? Because we just brought in Malacia. And right back situation, we don't know Wan-Bissaka will leave or he'll stay. Diogo Dalot.
It seems Dalot is his preferred option, doesn't it?
Dalot's preferred option, yeah. But at the same time, I'm looking at Wan-Bissaka and thinking, he doesn't look like he's gonna be here next season as he looks. I like the midfield. The midfield is doing all right. I think Donny van de Beek's been impressive in preseason. I know he's not been that impressive today, but he's been all right.
I'll be honest, Donny disappears for me. Like, I'm rooting for him so much, and every time I'm watching every little touch, and I'm like, I want him to do so well, but he vanishes. Like, I don't know. I think he's very bit part in games. Like, I want to just grab the game by the scruff of the neck and have his little link-ups that we saw him capable of.
Little late run he makes that little late run, and you can just flick a pass to him, and he'll create something. But at the same time, he doesn't. He's not present on every part of the pitch. I think Donny van de Beek should have started in the second half for me today. I mean, I wanted Donny to start the match. Of course I did. But that bench that I saw today was a little bit too weak. I think we lacked a little bit of experience in midfield because we looked like we had because Donny van de Beek he starts in the second half with that little bit of experience ahead of him. He can help out Zidane Iqbal. He can help out Hannibal,
Garner.
And Garner as well. I think Garner did all right when he came on. I think he did okay, but at the same time, it's his first game. We can't really judge him much. And there's been a lot of players that have impressed me in preseason. And I think going forward, we have to pick out the correct starting lineup against Brighton. I think these next two games will determine who our lineup will be against Brighton.
100%. It has to get closer to his ideal now.
I hope Ericsson, I hope Martinez, and I hope we get a new sign. Hopefully, we get a midfielder done. I still think we need a central midfielder and a right back. I still think a right back is needed. I know Ethan Laird has did all right in preseason, but I don't think he's 100% ready for the Premier League yet. I think he can do a job on loan or potentially on the bench. Maybe we'll see him come off the bench and so on. But at the same time, we're looking at how would you say this? A lacking quality in the defensive midfield position, and the right back position is what we need. And you never know. Anthony, if we can get it done before the game, I don't think so. I don't think Anthony will be here before the start of the season.
Would be nice.
I would love Anthony. I think Anthony would fit the bill really well.
He would, and obviously a lot of people are saying if Ronaldo goes, possibly that is when we might look at the likes of Anthony, who are definitely welcome, 100%. But just to round off your core, Kevin, if you had to choose one standout player today from United, like who would you go for?
Today's game, so I think Jadon Sancho's been quality today.
I agree,
I think Sancho's been the best player this whole preseason for me. I think Sancho's looked the most lively. You could say. Because he's been so consistent in every game. He's scored in every game, I think, as well. If I'm not mistaken.
Been outstanding, to be fair. And it's just general influence he's having on the game as well. He's getting in at that far post when Rashford's got it on the left, and that's what you want from your winger. That's why he's getting.
He picked out a very good cross, a very good pass, making really good runs, feeding players through. I think he can drift inside really well, and that's what I want to see. That's what I've always wanted to see from Jadon Sancho. I want to see that Dortmund Jadon Sancho, that Sancho that we've been missing for a whole season. Yeah, it's taking time. Of course, it will take time to adapt, but he's had that glimpse in preseason, and he's had that glimpse in last season where we can see that Sancho can show some quality. And I think going into next season, I'm ready to see the best of Jadon Sancho.
Definitely. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me. As always, an absolute pleasure to chat to you. See you repping the new shirt as well. But thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it.
Hopefully get the away kit soon as well. We'll see.
Yeah. Check out Classic Retro Shirts on Instagram. That's what I'm saying. But guys, thank you so much. Make sure you go and follow Kevin as well. It always talks sense and some great points about United. Hopefully, the next two games will be really positive for us. We do see a lot of goals and some more clean sheets.
Description as well. I'll leave my socials in the chat as well. Hopefully, you'll give me a follow as well.
Yeah, go and check them out. Thank you, Kevin. Look after yourself. All right, you take care.
Take care.
I think the Donny debate is an interesting one. I just want to pick up to George because he's currently in the cinema, I believe. So I love to George. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think the Donny debate is an interesting one because whenever he's played, in my opinion, he hasn't really set the world alight yet. I'm like I said to Kevin, I'm always rooting for him. I'm always wanting the best from him. But at the moment, I don't know. I just feel like there's a bit more that we're not just getting the most out of him. And whether that's because he's playing in teams that are kind of more inexperienced when it comes in that second half. Obviously, today he did start from the off. And I thought we played well in that first half, but maybe the pitch, maybe, I don't know, the fact that he has just been thrown in today and he's not quite used to the players around him, maybe that had an impact on it. But I am hoping, I'm rooting for Donny. But so far, I'm going to be honest, he hasn't overly impressed me, should I say. Like, next up, I'm going to get Curlers on and get his opinions. Curlers, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you all fine. I'm glad you're doing well. What do you want to talk about after that game?
Well, it's basically just more of the same for me. We've actually seen the problems that we
Yeah.
experienced all last year in that second 45. Couldn't get the ball, couldn't control it, couldn't dictate anything, no cohesion, no ball winners, no nothing.
Yeah.
And
Are
as I
you
said, that
sorry, I was
oh,
going to
you
say, are you
go.
overly concerned with that curlers, or do you think it comes to stems from the fact that it is pre-season? There's been wholesale changes that you wouldn't obviously necessarily see during the season, or is it like a signification that we are still so short in terms of our strength in depth?
Over miles off it. I mean, let's just get the cards on the table here. We are miles and miles and miles off it. Arsenal are miles ahead of us, as are Spurs, as are City, Liverpool. I mean, if Newcastle do good business, West Ham are doing good business. We are,
Yeah.
if you look at the window that we've had, and you were to rate it 1 out of 10, would you really be giving it anything more than maybe a 4?
You know, we've got a midfielder. It's hard, well, our midfielder. Obviously, now we've got Ericsson, but we've got the mould of midfielder that we're looking for. It's hard,
Yeah.
isn't it, to get higher because that was always our priority going into it. And the
Yeah,
fact
I
that I
mean,
never imagined we'd be this far through the transfer window and still not have signed in that area. So we have to be concerned about that.
I mean, it's not even just a case of we need to be concerned. You need to look at just how much footfall of what you would call interest in players that suddenly over the past week just died off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been nothing this past week, and it's really, really worrying.
Yeah, I remember I watched Sky Sports reporter. I forgot what his name is now. I forgot what his name is, but he was saying Manchester United are quite relaxed about the Frankie situation because obviously the play it's in his hands. Basically, they've got an agreement with Barcelona, and they're kind of hoping that all gets resolved, and then before the season starts, they can sign. And if it doesn't come to play, and if they don't sign a Frankie, then I'm sure they've got a list behind. And I'm thinking, I don't think we have. I don't think we have
No,
got
I
that
don't.
the option of surely we would have already gone for that by now because of how late it's going into the window. Unless there's a clear communication from Ten Hag and Frankie that this move will happen. It's just a case of him sorting out his financial. I can't see why we are dilly-dallying over this. Surely we're not
No,
got all
I
our
don't.
eggs in one basket, but it seems that way.
I've said now for it because it's now going into the 12th week of the saga.
Yeah.
I said right at the start, and people can check. I said it right at the start when you read that. There was an interview with they interviewed Xavi and De Jong, and Xavi saying how he definitely wants to stay, keep the
Yeah.
player. De Jong's there saying, "I definitely don't want to leave Barcelona. I'm happy here."
And he
But
seems adamant. He seems adamant that he wants to go. Obviously, he went on tour with them and stuff. I always felt that was the turning point for me. Obviously, the whole time I was kind of hoping that there was something in place in the background. But I thought if I see him go on tour, then it's not happening. That in my head, that was like the switch. I've kind of given up on that now.
Well, see, I'm a little wiser on this. I would look at it from the point of view, if we say over the course of the 11 weeks, when have you once ever seen De Jong say, "I want to go to United"?
Not once.
Not once. He's not once said, "Yeah, well, look, if the offer say I'll go, I want to, go and play in the Premier League." He's not once said it,
Yeah.
and we've
It's
chased
concerning.
and we've chased
I
and chased.
was going to say, I don't think he wants to come to United, does he? I think that's pretty clear. It's pretty evident he wants to stay, and a lot of people don't want him for that reason, and I can understand that. But if he is forced out the door, then it seems United is his best option. But I am hearing you're sniffing around him there as well.
No, Chelsea. I'll go to Chelsea. I'll put money on it now. If you want to put a bet on, 20 quid says if Barca force him out, he goes to Chelsea.
It's horrible, isn't it? Especially Chelsea, obviously, apparently just missing out on that Koundé deal as well.
Yep,
Chelsea aren't holding back in terms of spending.
No, well, nobody is apart from us. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at our business, and again, if you look at what we did last year, just how bad the season was last year, just too many problems were exposed.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
mean, the
then-
only positive for the Frankie thing is the Ten Hag relationship with him. That's the only positive that I can see in terms of us getting that Frankie deal over the line. But like I say, when he went on tour and stuff, and I understand obviously he's a player and he's owed money, so he's going to obviously go with Barcelona and try and follow. And it's assuming at the end of the day that it's their job, and if he's owed money, he's owed money. But it's more the outwork, like you've mentioned there, the comments that he's openly made saying he doesn't want to come to United. He's happy to stay at Barcelona, and he's very adamant in that. Like, not once has he said he's flattered by the interest or anything like that. Like, it's always been very much set on staying.
not much.
yeah.
But as I say, I mean, all this time, and we could easily have got Sebastian Lema, and we could have got Tielemans,
Yeah.
and that wouldn't have broke 55 million. But instead of that, we're chasing after a guy that they're looking for 85 million quid.
Yeah, it's crazy money as well, isn't it? Really, but look, I know we've had this chat before, and I've said I would be over the moon with Jong. I think he's a great player, but I'm not a fan of these dragging. Ideally, I would have had a midfielder in before anybody else through the door, because I don't want us to go into the season with a player who hasn't really settled yet. You know what I mean? Like, we know that is a position that we've needed to strengthen for numerous seasons, not just after last season, the season before that. Like, we've needed a good midfielder for a while now, and the fact that we haven't targeted that straight away is concerning to me. Obviously, rumours are last season we were looking at that, and then the Ronaldo situation happened. He was never in our plans, but obviously that kind of took over. It's just, I don't know. I'm just massively concerned how close it is now coming to the season, and we still haven't rectified that position. That's concerning to me. But let's talk about the good things that we've seen on pre-season. The likes of Martial, obviously, scoring a few goals. Sancho, a lot of people are hyping up as well. Rashford is looking like he's getting nearer to his best. I mean, what have you liked so far from what you've seen of Ten Hag's team?
I would disagree with Martial. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
And I would point out he's coming into his last year of his contract.
Yeah,
So,
and obviously he's got a manager to impress at the minute. But when things aren't going so well, I think that's the turning point for Martial, is it, as well? How does he react?
as I say, so there is that. I mean, my positives would be, if I'm honest, I do like Malacia.
Yeah,
I've not been impressed with Van der Beek. I think he's going to be sold.
he's been quiet, hasn't he? He just doesn't seem to stand out.
He's just off it for me. As I say, I'm not too sure he knows what he's doing. The only sort of highlight that I haven't really seen has been the Martinez. Obviously still waiting to see him. And even then, we're complaining that he's now too short. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, turn it in. Give the guy a chance, I mean, I'm old enough to remember Cannavaro.
Yeah,
And he was one of the best defenders I ever seen. And he was only 5'10", if he was that. But Pellistri for me,
the height. I'm not too concerned about it. I think if you're a good ball player, which he definitely seems, he seems to have that like doggish attitude at the back. You know, he's gonna rat, he can fight.
Yes, a pit bull. As I say,
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do wonders for Man United, because we need a few more like him. As I say, I think Pellistri has looked good, but the problem is a lot of these kids are probably going to be loaned out again.
Yeah, it seems like, and to be fair, I would rather that happen than them just be sat there and not playing. Do you know what I mean? We need to make a decision. But again, like, Ten Hag has had a little look at them. Is there any of the youngsters that you think might creep into the first team squad this season? I'm not saying obviously first 11, but rotation possibly for Europa, the likes of Hannibal maybe even Garner if he doesn't go on another loan.
I don't know. I think they're looking to loan Garner out. I think it's just so hard right now because you just don't know what the squad is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, the problem you've got is there's more reports of who's still going to leave.
Yeah.
And who's basically coming in. So you could easily see 3 or 4 leave And as I say, if nobody else comes in, and I'm beginning to doubt nobody else is going to come in.
Yeah.
So
I hope that's
if we're going to the window with what we've got, you'll be lucky to scrape top 10.
we definitely have positions we have to strengthen, but I do think we've got to try and we can't be as bad as last year. We can't be, and I know we've laughed about it in the past and said we expect that things are going to get much worse before they get better and whatnot. But I'm just hoping that surely the board have a plan in place. If we don't get Frankie, there is a list of players. But again, I question why hasn't that already been reverted to, because it's so close to the season. And that's the only glimmer of hope I have, that Ten Hag, the relationship he has with Frankie, he knows obviously more about what's going on in the background, and there is a belief that we will sign him. But if we don't sign him after all this waiting and don't sign another midfielder, then I do truly fear for the worst for us in terms of that midfield, because you mentioned already how far off we already are.
Well, you see what today, as I say, we can play 45 minutes okay, but we can't sort of contain it. And you've seen the last game how when we conceded the goal, just how slow in defence we were. But as I say, the problem you've got is you just don't know who is going to come in.
Yeah.
The Ronaldo thing is, I think it's just pissed everybody off, because he's definitely going to leave. I don't see any logic.
I'm gutted. I love Ronaldo to bits, and I was so happy when he came back and whatnot. But if he wants to go, he wants to go. But the thing that has pissed me off about that is, why wait till the 4th of July before any of this comes out?
Yeah, I mean,
why not start of the window?
Yeah, I said it in Twitter. Get into a proper fight, as you can imagine, with all the little fanboys. I quoted why if Ronaldo had left as soon as the season ended, stating that he wanted Champions League football, nobody would have said anything.
No, because I understand it completely, and that's what I mean. Like,
we all would have understood it. But why are you waiting 3 weeks into a transfer window and then turning around and saying, look, I want Champions League football?
And also the fact that every rumour he has not said a thing, but the sporting one straight away he was on that same fake news. Do you know what I mean? That adds to it even more, doesn't it? Because you talk about respect for sporting, which is fair enough, but what about the respect for us? If we just knew where we stood in terms of what was happening, like I say, the decision in itself, like logistically, I understand it. He wants Champions League football, and I respect that. But the manner of which that it's been communicated and the timing of it is what I can't get on board with. And if it was Pogba who had done that, I would have been absolutely livid. And I have to be fair and say I'm absolutely livid with that situation, because he hasn't exactly helped. The new manager coming in, obviously, he needs to have a segment of players you tell you are concrete, who are in place, and then obviously know where to fill the gaps. And Ronaldo, in his mind, would have been one of those players that was definitely there. And then to hear, like I say, on the 4th of July that, I want to leave, like the timing of it is just frustrating, isn't it, to say the least. But Curlis, thank you so much for joining me. As always, I love to have a chat. I will do another call in. I am on holiday next week, but after that, I promise you I'm off school. I'm free from work, so I'll be doing a lot more
off school.
Yeah, off school, broken up, loving it.
Yeah,
so I'll
living life.
Popular content. Yeah.
Right, okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Curlis. Look after yourself. See
Okay.
you soon. And there was Curlers. And last up, we have got Malcolm, who's going to jump on. Malcolm, I think it's your debut, so I look forward to chatting to you in a second. But yeah, as Curler said there, it is frustrating not getting a midfielder, the whole Ronaldo situation. But I do think we can't cling on to the negatives too much. We've got to get behind the manager, got to get behind the team. I've liked flashes of what I've seen in pre-season. I think it is still alluding to the fact we need to strengthen the squad even more. But we know what? There's building blocks in place. We are starting to see changes, and we always knew it wasn't going to be a quick fix. But Malcolm, how are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in.
How you doing, Sophie? Thanks for having me on, yeah.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me. What do you want to talk about today?
I don't think there's really much to talk about, honestly. I mean, I think in the first half we looked good. I mean, obviously Sancho and Rashford obviously doing good in the wings. I thought Bruno had an off game today. Donny was okay. Shaw surprised me today. Shaw was really good today. He looked lively. He was doing all the balls. So yeah, I was really happy to see him improve today. Second half, I think we just dropped off. Aston
Yeah.
Villa got back into the game. Obviously, they brought in Leon Bailey, which I really rate highly. I rate.
That's
I don't know
great.
about you guys, but I do rate Leon Bailey like really highly. He's actually one of the players that I wanted to bring in if we as Sancho's alternative, because I know like when we were haggling to get Sancho over the line, um, I'd mentioned Liam Bailey as an alternative to our as our wingers. But yeah, obviously they brought him on. He got that um first quick goal in the second half, and then from then on, I don't think we really created any much chances really.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, obviously it's preseason. You don't want to think about it too much. Um, I still think there's lots to improve. Even though
Yeah.
Ten Hag is the manager, even though he has somehow improved our style of play, there is still frailties from what we saw from last season. So in
Def-
terms of
yeah.
defense, midfield, like I'm still getting shades of last season, like right now, and you know it's sort of the thing, like you can't teach a new dog new tricks, so we have to get more signings. You know,
Yeah.
obviously
Do you,
we
do you think we will make more signings? Can you see another midfielder coming in? Can you see maybe a fullback coming in? Or if Ronaldo goes, can you see us replacing?
honestly, I mean, other than like De Jong, maybe. I mean, we're still trying to get De Jong. The situation is still. I mean, it's still not resolved yet. So, but I mean, other than that, I don't really see us getting another midfielder unless we just walk away from the De Jong deal and just look at other alternatives. But even then, we haven't even said any other alternatives yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we should be doing, because if it's almost like what 2 weeks, we're getting into 2 weeks into August, into into the new season. So you know, if you don't
It's
get
what
any new signings, if you don't improve the midfield or the defense, I mean, I could see us struggle like this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to solve that. I mean, so far we're doing okay. We're doing good, but I mean, there's still frailties that need to be improved. But I think Ten Hag has. I think Ten Hag will analyze that. Will analyze he'll analyze the issues that need to be addressed.
Do you like Ten
But
Hag so far? Like his impression, like first impressions, do you think that he's a good fit for us?
yeah, 100%. I mean, so far he's really impressed me with the way he's put himself as the way he's just commanded himself as the manager, like not like any of the other managers that we've had in the past,
Yeah.
but I feel like he sort of just in a he sort of just set in a sense of like authority, in a way that he's in like, look, hey, I'm the manager, I'm the guy, I'm the boss, so whatever I tell you to do, you have to do it. And from what I've seen, I think the players have really warmed up to him, like players like Martial, Rashford, Sancho, Fred,
Yeah.
for instance, as well. I think they've all warmed up to him, even though some of his stories can be a little over the top. But I mean, at the end of the day, he is doing his job, and you know, in recent past, these players have really been let off easy, and
Yeah.
I don't think they've got that sense of like hard work or hard training. So a manager like Ten Hag really needs to set the standards high, and really has to say to the players that, look, whoever whoever listens to me will play for my team, but whoever doesn't improve needs to go.
Yeah.
And that's like I really love that mentality, because I don't want any players. I don't want players that don't really care about the team. They're just there to there for vibes. You know what I mean? I want players that are committed. I know that they can help this team get to where they need to be. But yeah, so
Definitely.
far I think Ten Hag has done a really good job, and I'm looking forward to what he can do in this season.
Yeah, I really like what I've seen so far. Like I say, we knew it was never going to be a quick fix. We knew it wasn't going to be an instant thing. Ten Hag comes in and all our problems go away. We know there's deep-rooted
100%.
problems above, and obviously to do with our squad as well. So we already knew it was going to be like a slow process, and we do need to be
Yeah,
patient. And what I like so
yeah,
far is obviously it's looking tense. I do think we've seen players that have been exciting. I do think we are pushing higher. But ultimately, there's only so much Ten Hag can do. It's down to the quality of the players, and quite frankly, we
exactly.
haven't got a squad that is up to the quality yet. I don't think where we can actually scrutinise and blame Ten Hag, because I think he's trying to instill obviously a style of play, and it's about whether these players can obviously build on that and can do it. So yeah, I think it's one of them. We have to be patient with him, but I like what I've seen so far. Malcolm,
Yeah.
thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hopefully you do call back as well. I've really enjoyed hearing your thoughts. If you could choose one player as a standout so far from pre-season, who would you go for?
Oh.
Put you on the spot there.
No, I'll be honest with you. I think Martial has improved a lot. I would have said maybe Sancho, but given that Martial has been, a little over the edge, for the past few seasons, but I think he's really improved. I think the link up between him and Sancho and Rashford, I think he's really improved his game, and that's all credit to Ten Hag. That I think he's really built up his confidence. So I hope that he can continue that improvement into this season. But yeah,
For sure. 100%.
Martial.
You've probably heard me referring to Martial as partial quite often because he was so in and out, not consistent enough. But
I think we've all referred to him as that. Yeah.
Yeah, pre-season, obviously, we can say he has been exceptional. His team's been good, but we want to see it on a consistent basis, and that's where Martial has to improve. And of course, I'm rooting, and I hope that he does, especially with the Ronaldo situation. It's important we get as much quality as we can going forward. So, yeah, I hope he does. I hope he can keep this up. But so far, he has definitely had a positive influence on pre-season. Viz, thank you so much for the message. I am sorry I'm ending the stream shortly, but in future, if you want to come on a call-in show, I always pop the link underneath, so in the description for the video, and if you just click on that link, then you'll be able to jump straight into the studio here, and I'll love to get you on in the next stream. But Malcolm, thank you so much for joining me. It's your debut, so I appreciate you running late.
Thank you so much. Thanks again.
No, thank you. Hopefully through the season we can get you on a bit more as well. Thank you so much. You take care.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you.
And guys, everyone in the chat, thank you so much. Please make sure you hit a like for all the guests that I've had on the pub. Been fantastic. I will do more of these after games as well, obviously in the preseason, throughout preseason and also through the season, because I feel it's important to get your guys' views as well. And everyone sees the game differently, and I always love hearing your takes on it as well. And hopefully we'll be celebrating more signings coming in, more goals being scored, and more clean sheets. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But guys, look after yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Keep smiling. I will be back at some point. You know what? I might do a stream tomorrow, because I am on holiday next week. So to make up for that, I might go live tomorrow night. I am playing football as well tomorrow. Fingers crossed I do all right in that one. My first game back for a long time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But guys, look after yourselves. Keep smiling. Don't get too damn beat. It's a draw. It's pre-season. Let's just hope we get some more signings in before my next video. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But guys, thank you. Hit a like on the video. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button on Ladies in Red as well. And yeah, if I missed any comments, I apologise. I always check afterwards. Just drop a comment under the video and I'll definitely reply to you there. Take care, guys. Look after yourselves.